We're back here in the studio where it's about 50 degrees cooler, and we've just heard from some of our vendors that were at Pride, and now I'm talking with Vicki Yates, News Channel 5's evening anchor, about her experience with Nashville Pride. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you. So good to be here.
It's so cool to see you on this side of the interview. So I just had to know, you've been here for a while in Nashville reporting. I've been here for a while. We've seen a lot of changes.
Sure.
As an ally, why is it important to celebrate Pride, and what have you seen change in the last 20-plus years with Pride?
I think it's important to celebrate Pride because people need to know that all kinds of people exist and they want to coexist. Nobody wants to be held in a bubble. Nobody wants to be singled out. Everybody has the same problems, the same joys, and to think that you can be with someone who you love and not worry about, I'm all about it.
Well, fantastic. Listen, thank you so very much for stopping by. It's always a treat to get to talk to you, and especially on our show. So we're gonna, someday will you come back and do a full segment?
You let me know.
Fantastic. Arson, listen, thanks so much. And thank you for your time. We appreciate you being on the show. But before we go, let's take a look at some of the LGBTQ+ features that News Channel 5 did during the month of June.
We're just hours from the Nashville Pride Festival.
That's right. So many will be there who have watched so much change for the gay community just over these recent years. In fact, the pandemic may have even encouraged some big changes to same-sex households.
News Channel 5's Forrest Sanders has a story just for Pride Month.
As gay men growing up in small towns, there's so much Michael and Travis Van Zandt never expected to see in their lives.
When I was in the military, of course, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was at that stage where it was becoming overturned.
We met on Plenty of Fish. Almost immediately knew that, he was my person.
6 months later, June 26th, 2015.
The Supreme Court had made it legal nationwide.
They headed straight to the county clerk to become the first gay couple to be married in Montgomery County. And now comes something else Michael and Travis never expected in their lives.
You got it, buddy? I told Travis, I think I want kids now. And it took him probably about 10 seconds to be on the phone.
Through youth villages, they've adopted brothers Andrew and Lucas. And they provide a home for Caitlin, who's just aged out of foster care.
Very scary at first. Of course, going from no kids to having kids, I guess that's like every couple.
With people isolated, agencies across the country report the number of calls of interest from potential parents slowed at the start of COVID, with unemployment rates up and many just hesitant to bring someone new into their home. Michael and Travis saw this as the right time to become parents, just like so many other gay couples. Let's take a look at the numbers today. According to the U.S. Census, there are more than 181,000 same-sex households with children in the home. Of those numbers, nearly 21% have adopted children in them. The American Adoptions Agency says about 4% of adopted children and 3% of foster children are with same-sex parents.
Do little circles, little tiny baby circles.
Then you can see the line and stay on the line.
There's agencies that deny same-sex couples the right to adopt when there's all these kids needing homes. I don't quite understand it.
Can adopt you?
Michael and Travis will be at the Nashville Pride Festival, working a booth with youth villages to tell other same-sex couples about fostering and adoption.
Bye, Bugs. Love you. Love you.
Love you too.
There's so much two men from small towns thought they'd never see, never experience. But together, they say they've watched the world change, watched their world change.
When I was younger, I never imagined these things would be possible, and it feels great. It feels fantastic. I love being a dad.
I'm Forrest Sanders, News Channel 5.
Pride weekend is back in Nashville. The event began this morning with a parade down Broadway and then continued with a big festival at Bicentennial Mall State Park. I'm Emily Luxon. Thanks for joining us tonight. The celebration took on a new meaning, though, with the Supreme Court's landmark decision yesterday overturning the constitutional right to an abortion. News Channel 5's Chris Davis shows us how that changed how a lot of Nashvillians celebrated Pride.
There was a different feeling this year at Nashville Pride.
It's really important for our family just to come out and support.
There was no shortage of celebration. But many also felt called to be here to send a message.
It's incredibly important to be out here celebrating today more than ever.
Especially after the landmark ruling by the Supreme Court.
The next thing on the chopping block could be gay rights, gay marriage, and we really want to make sure, especially trans kids growing up in the world right now, feel affirmed, feel validated.
Jeriel Jimenez Lopez drove from Clarksville with his mom and aunt with 2 missions in mind.
It's really important that we promote our individual rights as human beings.
Show their pride as this massive parade meandered down Lower Broadway.
We're gonna have fun.
And lift their voices.
Rise off me! Rise off me!
In a pro-choice march up to the state capitol. After a series of chants,
My body, my choice! My state, my rights!
the crowd was asked to jot down a series of words directed at the Tennessee governor.
Governor Lee, stop targeting your sister and my family. This is an official demand. Thank you, David Dark.
Jeriel only took a few moments.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna write.
Before the words poured onto his paper.
Your laws and politics make Tennessee a worse place to live. I love my home here. Please don't make me leave.
Those are words he's worried he'll have to follow through on.
I came out at 18, so I haven't had much time thinking about all of this, but it's difficult. It's difficult to accept that growing up, that people see you differently and that you shouldn't have certain rights just because of who you are.
There was one lone voice on the other side of the street.
I believe that an unborn child is a child. It's a human.
A counter-protester that drove up from Harvest, Alabama.
I came out to say, no, we must not tolerate evil. I stand against it.
But in the grand scheme of things for Jeriel,
you saw there were only 1 or 2 people there, and there's hundreds of people here that are in support of us.
While the weekend may have felt different, nothing could dampen his pride.
The important thing is to be ourselves and be prideful of who we are as individuals, whether you're straight, gay, or anything else.
With photojournalist Evan Crawford, Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
You're out of time tonight, but you can follow us on social for breaking news, and you can enjoy clips of the show anytime at outandabouttoday.com. Thanks for watching. Good night.